Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the inaugural 2021 edition of the Magic in the Midwest podcast, the most magical podcast in the Midwest. And ladies and gentlemen, here are your hosts, JB and Ash. Why, thank you, announcer. Hello, everybody. I'm JB Michaels, USA Today best-selling author of many books, 14 to be exact. Please go check those out on MrMichaels.com, M-I-S-T-E-R, Michaels.com, if you want to, check out the expansive library of my imagination. Please check that out.
Very expensive.
This is the 40th episode,
Ooh.
40, the big 40th episode of Magic in the Midwest podcast. I am joined here by my more successful wife,
Ashley Michaels. Hello. Sometimes you say my name, sometimes you don't.
I know.
So I was waiting.
I know. You gotta keep you on your toes.
Yes. Super. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm here,
Yeah.
and I don't really have anything else to offer.
She
except
doesn't
for
want to
my
do any housekeeping, so I'll do it all.
Lovely attitude.
Right.
And
Thank you so much to those of you who subscribe to the Bandcamp exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
If you love this podcast, you can actually help support the podcast and also get something out of it. Little quid pro quo. You get double the episodes if you.
whoa, what a deal!
Yes, double for literally $3 a month. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
It's less than one of those expensive.
What's 12
coffees.
times 3?
What do you think it is?
What's 12 times 3?
36?
12 times 3 is 36.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Is it really? 12 times 3?
What's 12 times 2? Are you still unsure? Or?
Good. For $36 a year, you could help support this podcast.
That's it.
12 times 3. Yeah, that's really not a lot. But, we would thank you to those who already subscribe. We really appreciate you guys. It really helps a lot, honestly. Because we really do enjoy making this podcast, creating this podcast, thinking about what we're going to do at each podcast. Also just embracing the craziness and the improv that spawns from this podcast, the banter, the bickering, the blimps, all of the above. So we really appreciate it. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I also am in insurance as well. So if you need anything quoted out, just reach out to me. Reach out to us, Magic in the Midwest podcast at gmail.com. Whatever you guys need. We do lots of things here. We write books. We do podcasts. We are accountants. We're kind of we do a lot. We do a lot. We're doers.
We wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
But don't we all?
We all do. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially this year.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
this
year.
time.
What year? This year is 3 days old.
Well, it's
you
the
idiots.
same. Feels the same.
Right.
But
Okay.
I'm hopeful.
It's not. It's a different year. Let's be real. It's totally different. Okay. All right. So we are going to do Disney Parks blog and Disney Parks on their YouTube. Did this 21 ways to kick off 2021. So we thought we would just kind of riff off that. So you can find all this information on the Disney Parks blog, okay, and on YouTube with the 21 ways to kick off 2021. And we thought we would do the same and kind of just do commentary on all 21. So, Ash, the first thing that Disney says that you could do, all right, because Disney wants you to go to Disney right now.
Of course.
Okay.
Book it.
Yeah, book it. They say explore the taste of Epcot International Festival of the Arts, which begins January 8th through February 22nd. You're invited to an expansive collection of visual performance and culinary arts throughout the park. So, Epcot has become the festival park.
Yes.
There's Festival of the Arts, and then there's a little break, and then there's Flower Garden, and then there's a little slight break, and then it goes back to food and wine. Okay?
Yeah. Now we've done together. We've done Flower and Garden and Food and Wine. Have you ever been for Festival of the Arts? No.
And no, I have not.
We watch videos. It seems cool.
Actually, I'm actually one day we'll have to go to it because I really feel like there's a lot of like artists that they bring in, local artists and different people that they bring in tents, and you can buy their art and just look at all their art, which I think is really neat.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's actually out of all of the festivals, for me, I think this would be, although Flower and Garden I really like.
I think I would like Food and Wine.
I'm actually, Food and Wine is like third for me.
I'm not surprised.
Like
You're
for
lame.
me, yeah. Well, I like arts.
No, I'm just kidding.
Shut up. I like arts, and I like the Flower and Garden.
Well, I also feel like I'm definitely more adventurous when it comes to food and stuff, and you're not as much.
Right.
You definitely want something that you
And I don't
you enjoy,
drink.
and
So-
yeah. I definitely, and it's not all about the wine, obviously, but I would definitely like going around and trying all the different food. That sounds like a
Right.
dream.
Right.
Food carts, keep walking to the next food cart. Great.
Yes, exactly.
No, but Flower and Garden, when we were there for that, was awesome too.
Yes, yeah, it was. Okay, so, and then we have number 2 on this list is Gaze Upon the Reimagined Entrance Fountain at Epcot. So there is a new water feature in front of Spaceship Earth. So there used to be, when you walk in, there used to be all those like rock formations with all these people's pictures on it.
I gotta be honest. As someone that went once when I was 8 and then came back when I was in my 20s,
This is way better.
I was always very confused about those rock things.
Yeah.
I was like, those are ugly.
They
as
came
heck.
around. Those were Leave a Legacy, and they were
I like the idea. It just they didn't look
part of
right.
Yeah, they were part of the Millennium Celebration.
I get it.
and
This,
they-
I think this looks much better.
Yeah. So right now there's this new fountain, which I think is great. I mean, obviously Epcot right now, you guys, is a hot mess. There's lots of construction everywhere. It's crazy right now. So I would just be warned if you're going to go to Epcot. There's a lot of construction walls happening, but some things are already going to be open soon, but we'll get down to that. But this is cool. This is actually a little harkens back to the original park. And the logo on this fountain and these like crystal monoliths basically are like the original symbol of Epcot Center, which I think is great. So, and remember, Epcot's getting a lot of love, which it needed. So that's going to happen. So that's number 2. I think I think it looks good.
Oh yeah, I
You know?
agree. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see it in person,
Yes, I think it looks great. So
especially at night.
yes. And then there's number 3. Step inside the cartoon world of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which we've talked about a little bit. We haven't been on it yet, but this is, one of the newer attractions that got basically crushed by 2020. So of course they're gonna push Mickey and Minnie's Runaway. Why can't I say
Railway.
that? Why can't I say it? I don't know. Say it again.
Runaway Railway.
Okay. This is go through the movie screen as Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Engineer Goofy, and Pluto take you on a trip through Runamuck Park, where anything can happen. So basically, the point of this ride is that you are going to be inside a Mickey cartoon, and we're talking about the cartoons that came out from the guy who directed the Ren and Stimpy cartoons, Paul Rudish. So it has that art style, the newer art style of Mickey and Minnie on
I
those
like
cartoons. I really love those cartoons. Those are really
They're really funny.
They're funny. They're engaging. Mickey's got, to be honest, Mickey has his personality back. Because Mickey at first in the 30s was sort of a mischievous mouse. And he was sort of like kind of a scoundrel in
Like
some
a
ways.
stinker.
Yeah, a little stinker. He's more like that. He doesn't lean totally into that in these new
But
cartoons.
leans a little bit.
But he shows more emotion. He's more real in these cartoons.
not just the Mickey
Right.
Mouse Clubhouse.
Not just like I am a corporate icon. I must be at my best behavior type of Mickey. So I like that. So basically, this is kind of you're going through a cartoon world. Have you talked to anybody? You have people that went there recently. Did they?
They really liked Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Did
really,
they?
Really liked it a lot.
Oh, good. So it was getting good reviews.
And you know what? There are some people, and I think it's really hard to compare, but I know some people, liked it more than their experience in Galaxy's Edge.
Wow.
I think it just depends on your personality. You know, they're two very different things.
They are. It's a slower ride.
I think for people, I'll be honest, I like Star Wars. I do. But I'm not, a super fan. I feel like I could be. I just need to watch more of the movies. Because I really like that, there's a whole universe type stuff. But Mickey and Minnie's is super appealing too because it's Mickey and Minnie. I love that. I also love that it looks like the new cartoons because it's kind of pulling from the Fab Five, but also this newer modern touch to it. And I'm very excited for
Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah, I think you just have to know what you're going into. I don't expect to be blown away like Flight of Passage and that.
Well, it's not a thrill ride.
Right? It's not that. It's gonna be something different.
Yeah.
More of a slow, slow, but
well, it is. Yeah. I think you're in a cartoon. You're basically.
I expect to be, I expect it to be just cute and fun and just really enjoyable. That's what I expect from it.
So, so for, this is in the Grauman's Chinese Theater. So this is where the Great Movie Ride was.
Well, and as much as I miss the Great Movie Ride, I love that this is here. And I know that the icon for Hollywood Studios is Tower of Terror, but I still think of
the Chinese
Theater because that's what I see when I walk in, straight down the line. And I love that it's a Mickey and Minnie themed attraction in that.
This is really I think this is the only Mickey ride, period.
Yes, I am very excited about it. I know it's borderline whether it's original, right? Because it's kind of based off those cartoons. But for me, it leans more towards original. It's not like they're jamming Moana in there or something like that. You know, it's an original story, that's going in there.
Well, and then of course we have number 4. Which you already talked about that people are comparing it to, which is interesting. I think it just depends on your preference. But number 4, of course, is Galaxy's Edge, right? And here's an interesting thing about Galaxy's Edge. Disney spent $1 billion on this land. And again, I think it just, as soon as it really started to gain some momentum, 2020 hit. So they want you to go to Galaxy's Edge. Which, by all accounts, I've heard nothing but incredible things about Rise of the Resistance.
That and the whole just to be clear, by far and wide, the people I know that have been recently and in the last year and a half prefer. They rave about Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
But people are saying also don't discredit Mickey and Minnie. It's really good. It's not part of a land that's super themed and amazing and crazy, but it's it's also a really great attraction. But
it is.
Galaxy's Edge I'm very excited about.
Yeah. Okay, so Galaxy's Edge, we've talked, I think, a lot about Galaxy's Edge, and when we one day get there, we'll give our full review of it. Mm-hmm. But we haven't been there yet, so. And then, of course, there's number 5 on this list is check out Cinderella's Castle's Royal Makeover. Okay, so what do you think of the makeover, Ash? Basically, this is a repainted castle with a lot of pink and super bright royal blue.
This is what I think, and what you think, because I posted it
gold,
on a
gold trim.
I posted it on a poll a few months back when we talked about it, and by just a very small margin, out of the people that voted. It seems like the new castle was preferred slightly. It was 52% to 48%, so basically half and half. I'll be honest and say I like the pink. I do. From a picture. From the picture, I like the addition of the pink. To me, it looks closer to how Cinderella's castle looks in the movie Cinderella.
But in person, you're not sure?
I don't love the bright blue. I think it's... it's just the wrong shade. I just don't know how I feel about the super royal blue with the pink
what about
and
the gold,
I love the gold.
Trellises.
And I totally think that Walt would be all about that.
And turrets. Yeah,
You know, I did used to think, like, I love the castle. I think it's amazing. But during the day, I was kind of like, it
Underwhelmed.
kind of needs something. Like, it's just gray. You know, it needs something sparkly and fun during the day. Like, just a little something. And I feel like the pink is good just on the top and the gold. But that royal fluorescent blue, I don't love. That's just my opinion. I might feel differently in person. I don't think you can tell from a photo how you feel. I will feel a certain way when I walk into the park for the first time.
Okay. That's
but yeah,
fair.
I think it would just be better if that blue was something else.
Okay. All right. Well,
That's just my opinion.
You know, it's growing on me. I think I just have to go there and experience it. So let's just go.
Well, and this isn't like a permanent change that we know of, right? It's a...
Well, this... Okay,
we
so
don't know, really.
Disney's plans have gotten monumentally moved, like just messed up. Right? Because
totally.
of all of our plans have been messed up.
Maybe it's a good
this
time
was-
to break up.
This was supposed... Who, us? Mm-hmm. Hell no. I love you.
Okay.
See? I just
Stay
got...
together.
Well, yes, okay. You're the love of my life. Gosh.
Thank you.
Jeez Louise. Anyway, you could go to hell. All right. Anyway, so
There's another example of how I like when he's mean.
all right. So
Okay.
this was supposed to be a royal makeover for the 50th.
Okay, so that was the idea.
Yes, the idea behind this was we're making over the castle. 50th anniversary is coming. Tron is going to open. There's going to be a
Tron!
new attraction in
Super
every
excited.
single park. Okay, that's not happening.
We need to start videoing these.
Yeah, we do.
Videoing?
Videoing.
Recording. No, wait. Videoing. What is
Doing a live video. Yes.
it? Live?
Filming is the correct answer.
Filming.
Yeah, even though we're not using film. But, all right. So,
This is gross.
I think I like it. I'm excited. Again, right, this was supposed to be in celebration, a special thing for the 50th, which, by the way, in October of 2021, Disney World turns 50. So,
We will not be there at that time.
kind of crazy, right? It turns 50. 50 years of Walt Disney
When does
World.
Tron open?
It's
need to
still,
be on it.
I think it's still on target for late 2021. So we'll see.
I really need us to book a trip. I'm ready to just move there and live in a box on the side of the
Right,
road.
right.
Who's with me? Maybe we can do a line of boxes.
Yeah, let's just do it. Let's do it.
Get some-
We could decorate it.
Like paint it.
Right, paint it.
And then...
Like the water pageant. It's just like a big long line of...
But it doesn't move.
Right.
It's just...
Like the water
This
pageant.
plan is coming together.
Yeah, yes. It's all coming together.
Who's coming with?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I want to get a drink at the top of the World Lounge. All right, anyway.
Don't wink at me ever again.
No.
You guys, JB is the worst at winking. It is not
right.
cute.
I guess I look super
Looks like
creepy.
a
All right.
twitch.
Yeah. All right. So number 6, of course, Disney, and this is what I think out of all of the things on this list,
I'm not even
especially if
looking-
you're a
I'm not even
Disney
looking at the
fan,
list anymore.
look at it, you moron. Okay. Number
This
6.
really mean I don't appreciate it.
Not true.
We gotta get through this.
Number
Hurry up.
6. Well, I'm trying. Number 6. Experience classic attractions at Magic Kingdom Park. I think out of all of the things on this list, nostalgia is number 1 for most Disney fans. When you see experience classic attractions, if you're a big Disney fan, you go, yes, more of that, please. That's what we do. That's why we go back, is because we want to go on Pirates
Look,
again.
it's-
We want to go on A Small World again. We want to go on Haunted Mansion, right? And Big Thundies. So we want to do all those.
Call it that.
Sorry, Big Thunder Mountain. All right, so number 7, of course, is watch for new residents on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. So apparently there's...
I'm in the picture of number 8.
You are. Yes.
I'm gonna put that up on the.
So there's new animals at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, a.k.a. the safaris.
Can you talk?
There's Nigerian dwarf goats. Okay?
Let's get one of those as a pet.
It's pretty cool.
It's cute.
All right. And they play like kids, apparently, at the Warden's Outpost near the end of Kilimanjaro Safaris. Number 8 is bask in the cuteness of baby animals. There were a lot of babies born in 2020 in Animal Kingdom. So you will see some baby giraffes out on the savannah, which I think is adorable. So they're trying to drag you in with the cuteness factor of the animals. Number 9, again, a very expensive, detailed themed land of a already existing theme park. Is number 9 is Pandora, which we've talked about. I mean, and we're going to talk about more when we get through when we get to that point in our Animal Kingdom overview episodes. But wow, I mean, if you have not been here or experienced Pandora, guys, I'm blown away by it, and I can't really even talk about it, but it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. If you don't have a fast pass and the line is long, who cares? Wait in the line. Just do it.
Or as our niece Audrey has told us, a great tip for that is at the end of the night, at the end of the day when the park is about to close, a lot of times they'll post the wait time, and it a lot of times will be twice as long as it really is.
Yeah.
Just to deter you from waiting in line.
Yes.
So I think the last time they waited, it was 90 minutes at the end of the day, and they really only waited 45. So something to think about.
Yeah, pretty cool.
If you don't have a fast pass.
Yes. And then, of course, there's number 10, which is find Disney characters in new places. So they don't do the big parades right now, not yet. I'm sure they'll come back soon, maybe even later, 2021. But from cavalcades to caravans to flotillas and even pop-up appearances, you can discover favorite friends at all 4 theme parks and the occasional special surprise at Disney Resort hotels. One thing I've noticed from other podcasters and vloggers is that these character interactions, yes, they're socially distanced and everything like that, but apparently they're delightful. Apparently they're just super fun. Like there was one where Pooh was like trying to catch butterflies, and he at Epcot right by the Imagination Pavilion, and like the interaction that they people have had with the characters is just delightful. So they're really up in the character game, I think, right? Because attendance is obviously not super great, and the parks aren't at full capacity.
I have a question for you off of that real quick.
Yeah.
When do you have any idea when you think the parks will be closer to full capacity?
I'm guessing probably not till
fall. That's
till
what people
fall.
are saying.
Fall, maybe even just holiday season. You know, I would, you know what I mean? I think there just has to be a few things that they have to hit first. And then, of course, if you're staying at a resort hotel, there's been a lot of pop-ups and characters hanging around at the resorts, which I think is great. And that actually happened to us last time we were there. Donald and Goofy knocked on our door at Boardwalk. Now, I don't know if that means they're going to do that, in this. I think they'll probably just be in the lobbies or something.
I only think that was because we complained twice.
We had a rough go.
I think that was 90% of that.
Probably.
At least.
And we weren't even around to see it, but
we were not.
Our son was.
And my parents.
And your parents, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Harrison wasn't in the room by himself.
Yeah, we're not
that type of parent.
No, we're definitely not. There are people like that. So, unfortunately, on Earth. All right, so number 11. Hop from park to park. So, January 1st, they brought back park hopping. So, you can now visit more than one park per day. However, you have to visit the park after 2 p.m. So, there's some new modifications to park hopping, but you can do it. They have brought it back. So you can visit more than one park per day, but you have to visit one in the morning till about 2, and then you could go to the next one. So that's one of the caveats of the park hopping in this time period. But I'm sure that will just go back to normal eventually, I would hope. I don't know really about the park reservation system either, Ash. I wonder if that's just going to stay. I wonder if
it will allow them to know, how many people are going to be in that park. They'll know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I think they do know.
They do
in a
know
lot
the
of ways
Fast
because
Pass
of Fast
Plus.
Pass, but not everybody uses that.
Well, they don't have it anymore. They don't even have it.
But I mean, before that, you know, if you weren't staying on property, which there are a decent amount of people that aren't staying on property,
Right.
And I think that, you know, there's been an increase in like using Airbnbs and all this other stuff to make travel less expensive, which I understand. So I think that this, you know, they know exactly how many people are going to be in the park, and you know, in one way I think that's good, and in another way it kind of scares me because they feel like they're just going to jam it as far as they possibly can.
Well, we'll see.
With
We'll
certain
see. Yeah.
things, like if something attendance looks low in a specific park, they'll probably do an event. Is what I'm worried about.
Yeah, they could throttle.
Like, Epcot's really low this day, or like Hollywood Studios is really low. Let's try and do some sort of event. With
We'll
blah,
see.
Blah, blah.
We'll see. Yeah, you're probably right, but yeah. Number 12 is indulge in sweet new treats at Disney Springs. Apparently, there's some new stuff that's opening that's literally all about sugar. Gideon's Bakehouse, which is getting a lot. Like, Disney did like a whole video for this. It looks like a giant ball of dough, okay, but like chocolate chips.
Yeah, I know. What
all
is that?
around
It looks like really good, but I can't. It just looks like cookie dough with chocolate chips.
It looks like cookie dough, and then the chocolate chips aren't melted; they're just put into the cookie dough.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't figure it out, but I want to eat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And then, of course, the forthcoming M&M's store. So that's cool. There's going to be an M&M's store. And then an Everglazed Donuts and cold brew.
Ooh, I love cold brew. It doesn't bother my tummy.
Well, that's good. So now you could have non-bothering tummy cold brew at Disney Springs.
Nice.
You probably get that at all the Starbucks in the parks, too.
Yes.
Okay, then 13 is pick out the perfect post-holiday gift. Obviously, you guys, the Disney merchandise machine is alive and well. Although we've noticed on a lot of vlogs and blogs that we frequently watch is that, holy cow, the prices of merch is...
I mean, Disney merch is high.
We're talking,
right? You know, but
now,
this is like excessively
we're talking
high.
that a normal T-shirt is
like
now
$44 for like a regular T-shirt.
Now there are other options that aren't as expensive, but I feel like the Disney branded, theme, Disney Parks branded shirts are at least $30 now. So it's crazy, at least.
At least.
Yeah. So that's getting crazier and crazier. But I guess that's just since now the divisions are combined. I think that has something to do with it. So
yeah,
now
to be honest, I'm not a huge merch person. Like, I don't care as much about that. Like, I like finding cute Disney themed stuff on Etsy, and there's some cute stuff on Amazon too. I know some people do a lot of shopping when they're there. I focus more on like food that I can consume, like the Rice Krispie treat. But we might each buy something, but we don't go crazy with merch.
No, we don't.
We don't. Some people, love to shop, and that's cool. But
although we do have Disney gift cards that we have to use, so that could be merch.
We do.
All right, so
we might be able to buy like one T-shirt combined.
Probably. All right, it says return to favorite Disney restaurants. Number 14. Of course, the reopenings are Crystal Palace is now back to be opening. Chef Mickey's is now back open at Contemporary. So that's starting to roll out. More and more restaurants are opening back up, which is exciting. And then, of course, number 15, they say make some time to relax outdoors, which I think is funny because you're always outdoors at Disney World. But, they're talking about the, Disney World has a lot of golf courses. Miniature golf, there's lots of other things to do at Disney, like horseback riding and fishing and parasailing and all that kind of stuff. So there are a lot of other options for you to do at Disney besides just the parks and the restaurants.
Which is great to know in case your spouse or whoever you're traveling with isn't like a huge obsessed Disney fan, or you're at the point where you go a lot, you go often and you don't want to spend all your time in the parks. It's nice to have those days built in where they're a little bit more relaxed and doing something else. Yeah. Yeah. Lots to do outside of the parks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then of course 16, March 3rd, which is super early, I feel, but that's when International Flower and Garden Festival starts.
Well, I'm not surprised. It's like a week after the Festival of the Arts ends, or a week or two. It ends at the end of February, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And
it's
I
like
just
2
think,
weeks
you
apart.
know, it's their effort to
keep people
coming. I mean, people love those festivals, and for good reason. I think we've seen videos of Festival of the Arts, so I feel like I can speak to that a little bit, and then we've seen the other two. They're all really fun, just to take in everything, and, I mean, you're right, especially...
it's funny that they
Flower
now...
and Garden Festival of the Arts, there's so much to look at.
They call all of these. It seems like all these are now called Taste of Epcot Festival of the Arts, Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, Taste of Epcot Food and Wine. So they've changed it. So, but basically, what that means is that there will always be those little kiosks with food at all of these festivals. It used to be not. That was not the case.
Well, people like the food and will buy it, and it's so much extra money in their pocket.
Right. So usually it was just Flower and Garden. It was just Flower and Garden. It wasn't. There was no taste of Flower and Garden.
But I think part of it too is just the explosion of, you know, these little special kiosks with food and people Instagramming it, and
the explosion of Orlando population.
Oh my gosh, so many
There's
people are moving to Orlando.
many people moving to Orlando right now.
There's so many people moving out of Illinois.
I think yes.
I'm pretty sure they're all moving to Orlando.
It is happening. There are things happening, and people are moving down there. And I think Disney realizes that, and they realize that, hey, you know, you could get that Epcot after 4 pass or something, right?
That sounds super appealing to me.
Right, and you could just, which is a version of the annual pass, where literally you could just go to Epcot every day after 4 o'clock.
Oh my gosh.
And have dinner and do whatever. So I think Disney has tapping into the locals, the burgeoning locals population, because Disney World still, for the most part, was tourists, but now it's definitely becoming more of there's a bigger local population.
Now
building.
listen, the percentage of people that come there and it's their one-time trip still far outweighs any local population, you know, percentage of people in a park at any given day. I think it's like in the 80 or 90% of how many people are there, you know, just for that one time in their life. But that being said, I also think they realize they can kind of capitalize on the fact that there's a lot of locals in the area, and so there's been an increase, at least I think, an increase in events where, you know, there's special events that kind of happen at the last minute where really only locals would be able to do that. Special merch events, special, you know, food kiosks, or specialty drinks that they're coming out with.
Dessert items. And people go on Instagram.
That they do, like, they plan, like, you know, a few weeks in advance. And so most of the time it's going to, you know, and they, you know, obviously really only be beneficial for you if you're local. But also, what was I going to say? I know last year for the Halloween party, they did like what would that kind of ticket be? Like, you could buy like a season pass
for Not So Scary.
Not So Scary. And I think that was part of the reason why it was so crowded.
Well,
every time they had the party.
You are seeing an increase, and we felt this already, but you are seeing an increase of people just like hanging around the park.
Well, yeah, the interesting part is the lines really aren't any longer when locals are in the park, because they're not really going on a lot of stuff.
They're just there to hang around the park.
Yeah, they're there to get whatever, like, new thing is out, like some Peter Pan float or whatever it is, and then just sort of, like, chill and, like, do a few things.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
And then
Which
they
is,
leave.
like, a huge problem in Disneyland, right?
Disneyland is a locals park. Mm-hmm. So the reason why Disneyland is a different model. It's a totally different situation.
It is.
It's a locals park, and annual passes are the domination here, you know. But I think that Disney, it realizes that this is sort of happening, in Florida, and they are trying. I think they're trying to mitigate it by jacking up the prices of annual passes like crazy, to try and get people to, I guess, save some room for the majority, which is the tourists, right? But it is a thing. It is an issue in Disney, is that people love it so much they're moving there and just hanging out there, and they don't really. Not that they don't want you to do that, because if you're still coming and spending money, that's fine. But it also, there's some interesting issues that come into play there. Logistical issues, operations issues. Like you said, Ash, like people just hanging around in the park. And it feels more crowded.
Yeah, I feel like the last few times we've been, it has felt more crowded, but the lines weren't anymore.
Right.
It was a feeling of it being really...
Yeah.
Pretty crowded.
Yeah. So then we have number 17, which is Soak Up the Sun at Disney's Blizzard Beach Water Park, which is its 25th season. So it was closed all of 2020. And now apparently it is going to open back up in March in time for spring break. So, so Blizzard Beach will be back open.
Have you ever been there? You're very against it. Have you ever?
No, I've been to Blizzard Beach. I'm not very against it. I'm not very against it at all. I just prefer Typhoon Lagoon. And I think it's because the aesthetic of Blizzard Beach is something that I'm seeing right now, which is ice.
Yeah, but what if you go to Disney during the summer? Isn't it kind of cool to think about how a pool, like a water park, could be themed of something cold,
believe
even
me,
though it's warm?
I'm not anti-Blizzard Beach.
I would love to go there once.
I like Blizzard Beach.
On like a longer trip.
But it's just not as good as, in my opinion, it's not as good as Typhoon Lagoon. But
That's all right. I don't even need to go to either one of those ever again. Water park.
She was what? Super severe. Yeah.
I just don't.
Right. Okay, so 18. This I thought was interesting, but apparently there's also on the signs, the entry signs, the entrances to Walt Disney World, like on the road, are refreshed. So try to basically complement the castle makeover. The entryways are now refreshed, repainted, new style. So kind of cool. And then of course, there's new packages available. Available at number 19. Okay, available to book beginning January 5th. So kind of cool. Looks like there's going to be a lot. They're trying to get people to come back, right? Number 20. Florida residents can take advantage of a special ticket offer.
Oh, see.
The 4-day Florida resident Discover Disney ticket invites Floridians to visit any of the 4 Disney parks through June 18th, 2021. Not an annual pass, but a ticket offer that's actually really a good deal just to go visit the park, which is kind of cool. Kind of neat. It's $200 for that ticket.
Not bad.
That's crazy.
It's $50 a day.
4-day ticket for $200.
Plus tax.
Yes, of course. And then 21, the final one, is get excited for even more magic later this year, which I heard February, but maybe not, is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. The new family-friendly attraction coming to the France Pavilion in Epcot will debut in 2021. And the new Cirque du Soleil show will be coming to Disney Springs called Drawn to Life. So there are new shows and new attractions. Notably, there's nothing on this list talking about Guardians, and there's Cosmic Rewind or Tron. I think that's going to happen, though. I thought it was going to happen. So we'll see.
Well, you know what? Someone... No, you just look like you're in pain. Someone asked me when I thought that Tron would open, and I feel like Disney just has sort of been quiet about it, right? There hasn't really been an official announcement on that.
The building is up. The building is it's getting closer and closer to completion.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't mean that they'll open it. They might wait until, 2022 for some of these things, because I think it's just unknown. Like, could be 2021, but I feel like they're just not saying it because they don't want everyone. They want to have to say like, oh no, now it's going to be later. I think some of those things could be in 2021. We don't know officially.
Yeah.
Guardians or Tron, really, right?
Yeah, I think Disney is still, it's still in sort of, we're not out of the woods yet. So I think they're still.
I think the goal would be to have it done for the 50th, but no guarantees.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But those are the 21 ways to kick off 2021 in Walt Disney World. So, yeah, I mean,
do you want to move on?
Remy, we know, is going to be open.
Yeah,
so Remy's
that's
Ratatouille
really the
Adventure.
only thing we know.
The only thing that's for sure we know will be open is Remy, that actually has like a February, I think, launch date. So that is happening. The other ones are still under construction. And remember, there was supposed to be all this other stuff happening. So, we'll see how it goes. But I don't know. I mean, you guys tell us. Are you guys ready to go back? Do you want to go back? Are you going to go back?
Have you been back?
Have you been back? But if you want to go back, do you want to go back after, like masks are no longer required?
Or does that not bother you?
Right.
Or, yeah, tell us your thoughts. Tell us your plans.
Yes.
Let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. So, so that's just basically, we're going to try and, go back, I think, probably later this year. So, we want to go back. We're hopeful that if we go later in the year, and one thing I've noticed on the DVC website is that the later the year, the harder it is to book. So I feel like people are doing the same thing. Their DVC members are booking the end of the year.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff at the beginning of the year is open.
Yeah, beginning of the year through, I would say, the summer is pretty open. There are lots of availability for rooms.
But I think a lot of people want to come back for food and wine. Fall is notoriously just
the busiest time. Yeah.
And then, people that missed the holidays this year, at Disney are wanting to do it next year. And I think people are also hoping things will be different in fall.
Yeah.
We'll be a little bit further, a little bit closer to normal. Right. So, yeah, it's,
right.
busy
at
the end of the year, it looks like already.
Yep, sounds good. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen. So, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you listen to the podcast. We would love that. Please share the podcast. What really honestly keeps us going is the sharing. That really helps. Drive downloads, helps keep the podcast healthy. Anything else, Ash?
No, that's it.
She's really bad at the housekeeping today.
But you should. Yeah, I was going to say, you have to say where to subscribe, you idiot. Really bad at the housekeeping today?
Today you're just not focused on your normal housekeeping.
I normally never do housekeeping. You do it.
Right. Okay, so please...
do your job. You're bad. Your job today.
Rate and review us. We already said that. Please subscribe. magicinthemidwestpodcast.bandcamp.com. If you have been to Disney during this crazy time, we would love to hear about your experiences. Maybe in 2 episodes from now, we will relay those experiences.
Yeah, that'd be cool if people wrote in.
Tell us what you thought. Tell us how it went. And, I feel like this time period is interesting because it definitely feels like there's not as many people in the parks. I think, right? The lines are still probably similarly
people say the
long.
lines are super deceiving because, of social distancing. Lines are wrapped, out
really?
of land.
Yeah, but...
they're the line to Pirates was, past Adventureland.
Yeah.
Sign.
But it's not that long.
But they're we only waited 20 minutes.
Right. So just keep that in mind. But we will hopefully hear from people and, be able to firsthand kind of tell you those differences. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, from the Midwest. See you later.